Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in on the featured item store, what I think about it, etc, etc. I want to preface this with the fact that the value of what's in this store is highly dependent on how much content you've cleared, where you're at in the game, your roster, the amount of units you have sitting in your stash, and just also like what each of these individual things could mean for your account to just grab it now. Because I'm going to come in here with some pretty strong opinions. Even as someone who purchased things from this store, everything in it to me is just ridiculously overpriced. It's good. It's free stuff or low effort stuff, right? Like you're spending units on it, but you're not spending time. No matter if you earn those units through arena or time or what have you, right? You're buying them for units now. So it's just a matter of picking them up and using your stash. It can feel relatively less painful, especially if you've got like a ton of units. But to me, nothing in here is like super valuable. And even the stuff that is super value is just ridiculously overpriced. Like the cost of this 1% tier 5 CC selectors and the 2% tier 5 CC fragments is just insane. And I know where that value comes, and there's going to be a huge value drop for people who like haven't pushed Thronebreaker and are maybe like 4% or 6% or 7% away on the selector. But my biggest thing is if you're sub 10% away from Thronebreaker, then all you need to do is push Cavalier monthly event. And I really think that you are better taking, you know, let's say you need 10%, you're better off taking your 2,000 units and just doing the Cavalier monthly event. Now, this doesn't mean you could get Thronebreaker now, so there is such a value there, and that could be really, really huge for you. But if you're not 10% away, I don't think this is worth it. It's just crazy overpriced. Now, as for what I purchased some of the 5-star shards, because to me, I'm still hunting some 5 stars, so I decided to dip a little bit in there. I purchased some 6-star shards, because I think the 6-star shards are one of the few things that's like actually worth at least buying minimally of. Purchase some of the tier 1 alpha for arena grinding rank ups, tier 4 basic for arena grinding rank ups, tier 4 CC for my warlock. I'm trying to 6-star rank 3, tier 5 basic to help mitigate the influx of tier 2 alpha I currently have and the lack of tier 5 basic I currently have. And then I didn't touch the tier 5 CC. You might be wondering why didn't I buy the legendary crystal and why I didn't buy the signature stones. I didn't touch the signature stones because as a Thronebreaker player who grinds arena, 5-star SIGs are commonplace for me. So their value is super dependent on, you know, where your roster is, etc. To me, those aren't worth anything. I wouldn't buy 5-star SIG stones even if they were 2 units a piece. Like I don't have any use for them because I know I'm gonna get an influx of 5-star SIG stones every day. And then the legendary crystal is fun if you're willing to gamble. Statistically speaking, there's going to be a lot of people who end up pulling 5 stars, which is cute. To me, I would have purchased a couple if it was a Nexus, but because it's not, I just don't have an interest in it. Even though, arguably speaking, it's probably a better buy than some of the 5-star shards I had invested in. And then from there, I just did some splits because that's the cost efficiency because it is scaling cost. Now, that's me personally. But generally speaking, where I value these is pretty similar. If you're at end game, I think you pick up a little bit of everything just because it's cost efficient. Now, it's there if you have the stash of units, if they're not going anywhere because you've already cleared a bunch of content or the content you're clearing unit lists. Like I'm still doing Act 6 exploration, but I'm doing it with just in-game items. So I don't really have anything else to spend my units on. This is a good place to just kind of pick up a nice little bump. From there, I think there are some definite huge value buys. Tier 4 class catalyst selectors, definitely worth. Even though I think it's overpriced, it's still worth it just for that selectivity. And then from there, you just pick up what you need on an account basis, whatever you specifically are hunting, and anything extra you can spend on this top row. Now, for the tier 5 CC, my biggest thing is if you are less than 10% away, then these selectors suddenly become potentially worth it. If you're like 1 or 2% away, I could really understand picking this up. But the more you are higher than 5% is when I just say I don't think it's worth it. Like hypothetically speaking, if you are 10% away, I think you should just take the 1,900 units and just go do Cavalier exploration. And if you've already done this month, do next month. We know the tier 5 CC is in the Cavalier month. That is a permanent buff. They've permanently buffed it. So just wait a month. It's 2,000 units, and this is not worth 2,000 units, at least to me, especially when you know you have access to it otherwise. But there is something to be said for huge unit stashes, pushing for Thronebreaker before next month, you know, having it now instead of waiting a few weeks. Totally. It's really good timing. It does feel like we're far away from July 4th, so this isn't too big of a hit to people who have huge stashes and are trying to save for that. But do keep that in mind, that July 4th is still only 3.5 months away. So even if you're a huge arena grinder, you do need to be mindful of saving your units. We know that 18,000 units is the new benchmark. That's the new flat level. Who's to say there's not another 5K deal after that this month, this time around? So just something to look out for. Those are my thoughts on the featured item store. Let me know if you disagree. Keep it civil, but I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.